If I was Harry Potter character, which one would I be? I'd be Lucius Malfoy, of course. What do you think? Why the hell would I be anybody else? The wig fits and the costumes are made for me. Although, if I had to come back and be someone else, I probably would be Hermione, because I've got 2 daughters and she's the coolest by far, and I don't think we should be so gender strict as to restrict it to young women. I don't know who watching this knows this, but I actually auditioned for a different part in Harry Potter. I auditioned for Gilderoy Lockhart, and that was awesome. And I went in there and I read the thing, and Chris Columbus, a very sweet director, who directed Home Alone and Mrs. Doubtfire, many other fabulous things, he said to me, "That was great, man. Would you mind reading a different part?" And I went, and I was thinking to myself, how can I play 2 parts? What does he mean? How can I possibly be, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe someone can play 2 parts. And I said, well, he said, Lucius Malfoy. Did you read this whole script? Did you see Lucius Malfoy? And I suddenly realised, oh, wait, he's saying I wouldn't be Gilderoy Lockhart, I'd be Lucius Malfoy. No, I'm not doing that. And I said, well, and he goes, well, you want to take 5 minutes, go outside, look at the script, maybe think about coming back in? And I said, sure. So I went outside and I phoned my agent. That's what actors do. When you're a kid, you phone your parents. When you're older, you phone your agent. And I said, listen, these people want me to go in and audition for a different part. Lucius Malfoy's the bad guy. I was about to go off and play Captain Hook and Peter Pan. I didn't want to play 2 bad guys in children's films. And I said, I'm not going to do it. And he said, well, just go in and audition. You don't have to take the job if they offer you. And I said, yeah, but I'm going to ruin my chances of getting Gilderoy Lockhart. And he said, just go in. I said, no, I'm just going to refuse. And just then the assistant came to the door. And he said, you ready? And I went, yeah, sure, great. And I went in there, and I was so bitter and angry. He hadn't immediately offered me Gilderoy Lockhart. That's probably why they offered me Lucius Malfoy, because I was speaking through gritted teeth. Anyway, which part would I play? I play Lucius Malfoy again every time. I wouldn't want to be Rafe with no nose and all that makeup all over him, and I wouldn't want to be a fantastic Alan who wore the same costume every day for 10 years whenever he went to work. Michael, way down with all that beard. I thought I had a great gig. I had the very cool hair, the Paris Hilton hair, and fabulous swishy clothes, and a very good time. Although the person who had the easiest on the set was the magnificent actor Toby Jones, because Toby Jones played this guy. Toby Jones played Dobby, and he didn't have to go to makeup. He'd just turn up, sit there, have a sandwich, and say his lines off camera. It was quite hard not to look at him. It was a very, very easy gig, if you ask me. Right. Speak like Lucius. So here's a weird thing. I haven't spoken like Lucius for a very long time. I don't like doing it badly. I haven't got the wig. I'll tell you I have got somewhere. Yeah. This little dude. I brought him along. This is one of the few things I've kept from anything. There he is. See those teeth there? That. Very, very sharp. And the first time I used it, so I'll tell you a story. It's funny, isn't it? You might all be thinking, oh, don't tell me this. Oh, Christ. But I can't see you, so I'm going to pretend you're going, oh, really? So when I got the job, I shit myself, basically, because in the film were all the greatest actors in the English language. And these are all the other actors in Alan Rickman and Richard Harris at the time, and, Maggie Smith and all these people. These are people I have lined up in the pouring rain to get a return to watch on stage. They're kind of my heroes. And Alan, particularly, is a genius at being sinister. He was just the most fantastic person at creating evil on the screen. And I knew Lucius was meant to be a bit of a dick. So I thought, what am I going to do? How am I going to even approach this? I've got to come up with a voice. Can't do Alan's kind of sonorous, like that kind of very slow, languid voice. So I'm going to do something else. I'm going to try and come up with a voice that is like fingernails on a blackboard. I just want to come up with it, but you just hear a syllable and you think, oh, that guy needs punching. So I came up with the most annoying, entitled, aristocratic voice that dripped with contempt and superiority. So I was ready for that. And I went down to the set a few weeks early, because they did the costume and the makeup stuff, and they showed me some sketches, and I went to the costume department, and they showed me a suit, like a business suit for someone in the city or in finance. And I went, sorry, I don't understand what this look is. And they went, well, he's a businessman, isn't he? And I said, no, he's an aristocrat, and he wouldn't want to dress like a mugger. I don't want to be difficult. And they went, well, the director's seen these sketches, I said, yeah, but but he hates muggles. Why would he dress like a muggle? They said, well, what do you think? I said, well, I was thinking of like fur and velvet and leather and just, things that have been in this family for thousands of years. And they went, well, we haven't got anything like that for you to show anyone. And I went, what about that? And I grabbed a curtain. It's like a curtain on a rail, like a piece of velvet. And I put it wrapped around my shoulder. And then I went to the makeup department, and they said, I think your hair's good like that. And just put a bit of powder on you. And I went, what? No, but I was thinking of a wig. And they went, no. Dumbledore's got a wig. And I went, what are we... This is a 1 week film. Surely I can have a wig as well. Well, why would you want a wig? The director's seen these sketches. They quite like your hair the way it is. And I went, because I'm playing a wizard. And when am I going to play a wizard ever again? And also, he hates muggles. Why would he get his hair cut like a muggle? And they went, we haven't got anything for you to show. And I said, what about that? And there was a kind of cheap thing you buy at a garage for Halloween, like white plastic wig thing, almost like drapes. And I put this thing on. It's not like a panto thing and a velvet. And I went down to the set to let Chris Columbus have a look. He was shooting, as it would, fate would have it, he was shooting a Gilderoy Lockhart scene with the Pixies. Spoiler alert, there were no Pixies. But he was busy. And the guy I was with, the assistant, went, oh, Chris, we've got Jason for a look. And he turned around and he went, where? And I said, it's me. Hey, mate. And he went, hey, why are you, like, what is that a curtain? I said, yeah, well, no, yeah, it is, but it would be, I'm thinking, on the day we have like a cape or, fur or velvet or kind of aristocratic garb. He went, uh-huh. And what's on your head? I said, well, no, this is just an indication, but I was thinking long blonde hair, because my son's blonde, and a wig, and he goes, uh-huh. Did you see the sketches? I said, no, I saw the sketches, and obviously I'll do whatever you like, but I was just thinking, he wouldn't want to look like a muggle, and he wouldn't cut his hair like a muggle, And he went, uh-huh. Okay. Is there anything else? And I said, yeah. I was thinking of having a cane. Because, what do you mean, you have a bad leg? And I said, no, just a cane, and my wand will come out of it. And he goes, well, no, because we have a thing with the wands, they just kind of appear. It's like you don't know where they come from, and they just appear. And I went, oh, no, I've seen it, it's fantastic. I was thinking mine could appear from my cane. And he went, I think the toy guys are going to love you, because he's the sweetest man on planet Earth. And he let me do all that stuff. And then I thought, no, I've got the voice. I've got to come up with a voice, because, there's a lot of actors doing some big acting in Harry Potter, and everyone's got 2 or 3 minutes to make an impact. So the first rehearsal, the first day I ever shot, was the last scene of Chamber of Secrets. Me in Dumbledore's office, that was the first thing I shot. And we did a rehearsal, and I spoke in Lucius's voice, and Chris Columbus went kind of pale, and he went, Jason, can I ask you a question? So he goes, I'm American, so I don't really know, but has there ever been anyone in the world, like on Earth, who talks like that? And I went, no, I see what you're saying. It's quite extreme, but I think it'll work. I think it'll be good. And he went, I don't know. And Daniel Radcliffe, God bless him, he was standing there, it was all of 11 or 12, went, I think it's really cool. And he went, really? All right, let's try it. And that is how I ended up with that very extreme voice. And every time we did a take, Chris Columbus would come up and go, okay, we have it. It's wonderful. Let's do one more. Let's just do one more. And Jason, maybe pull back on the voice, like, I don't know, 80, 90%. Don't know which ones he used. You see that? These teeth there. So I asked for this cane. We shot a scene. The first time I met Tom Felton, who plays my son Draco, it's a scene that was cut from the film in Borg in the Box, I think it's called, the place in Nocturne Alley. And the first line I'd say to him, he was touching something, and I went, don't touch, Draco. And I rapped him with this. What did I put it down for? He put his hand on something, and I went, don't touch, like that. This is really heavy. That's a solid piece of kit. And these fangs went right into 11-year-old Tom's hand, right through the skin, and drew blood. And we kept the scene going, the way you do. And at the end, Chris Columbus goes, cut, and I ran over to Tom. I went, Tom, mate, I am so sorry. I didn't know how heavy it was. And he went, it's okay. I think it was good for the scene. It was good. He still doesn't believe that I didn't do it on purpose. What are you going to do? In which Hogwarts house are you? What do you mean, which Hogwarts house am I? In Slytherin, where all the cool kids are. The lights go off in Gryffindor, when the lights come on in Slytherin. The devil has all the best tunes. All the cool, sexy kids are in Slytherin. Please talk about Alan Rickman. Well, here's the thing about Alan Rickman. I'm not going to make this a memoriam or a wake. He wouldn't want that, Alan. Alan Rickman was hilarious and very, very dry and very, very funny, but also incredibly political. You should know that at a time like this, he did everything he could in his life with his money and resources and time to help people. He was a mentor to loads of people, but also dry and funny, and he knew that people were scared of him, and he used it to enormous effect. I sat next to him in the makeup chair once, and I always have a speaker. I'm always playing music on every set, everywhere. I was playing I'm stuck in the 70s, so I'm playing a lot of Motown and Sam Cooke and all this stuff. And I'm not going to do an Alan impression, because it won't go well. Well, I can't do it, I'm not going to do it today. And he said, what are you playing? And I said, just my music. He went, it's ancient. It's 30 years old. What are you playing that music for? I said, well, what are you listening to? He went, today? Martha Wainwright. I went, all right. Anyway, I went home, downloaded Martha Wainwright because I want to get in with the cool kids, get in with Alan. Didn't see him again for a couple of months. And was sitting next to him, and I went, no chance. Press play. Martha Wainwright comes on the speaker. He goes, what's that? I go, Martha Wainwright. He goes, that's so last year. Playing something else. Anyway, there he is. Talk about Alan Rickman. Very, very funny man. Also, hilariously bitter about the fact that in all the films, he wore exactly the same costume and wig, whereas I had a selection of kind of couture outfits. Alan was always in the same big black frock. The thing about the kids, Tom and Daniel and Rupert and Emma and stuff is so when you make these films, when we made Star Trek, for instance, or any of the many other things I've done, there's a huge secretive thing on set. You've got to sign these non-disclosure agreements. You can't tell people what you're wearing. You can't what you have for lunch or anything. But on Harry Potter, it's completely different. You got as many people on the set as you wanted. Chris Columbus set that up, and me and Alan Rickman have this ongoing competition with have as many visitors as you can. So I had 4 or 5 kids every single day that I ever worked over the 10 years, and so would Alan. But he worked more days, so I think he won in the end. But and they would lay on an extra assistant to take the kids round to all the sets, to the menagerie. I mean, they had a zoo there. They had an owlery, Owlfon, whatever the hell it was, a place with lots of owls in it. They had a place with all the dogs, Hagrid's dogs. That was a terrifying place when they all started barking and crapping. And they would go to the special effects workshop and they'd come to the set. And every single time my visitors came to the set, and I know Alan's too, they would get to meet, Daniel, Rupert, Emma, because pretty much all the scenes have one of those kids in, if not a combination. And they would always come up, all those kids, and Tom would say to the visitors, hello, you having a nice day? What's been your favourite bit so far? Oh, do you like the books? What's your favourite book? Unfailingly patient. They must have been bored shitless of doing it. They did it every single day, and they were kids themselves. But they never stopped being polite and humble. I know it's nauseating to hear that, but it's true. There you go. What's my favourite scene? People ask me what my favourite scene is. My favourite scene was my first day, because that's the one I remember. So I remember everything about it so vividly. So I was doing the scene in Dumbledore's office, right at the end of Chamber of Secrets, where he dismisses me. And I get the first time I'm looking around the office. It's amazing, Dumbledore's office. They make all the stuff. They make all the kit. They make all the equipment. And I was stunned by all the gadgets. And I remember saying to one of the props guys, I go, the bird. It's incredible. That what type of bird is that? Over his shoulder. And he went, it's a phoenix. And I went, right. Where are they from? And he went, it's a robot. And I went, right. Yeah, no, of course, because it's Phoenix. Yeah, I got that. So it was all so realistic and beautiful. And I was talking to Richard Harris at the side, and I know his son, Jared, who's a fantastic actor who I was at drama school with, so I felt that was an in. So I went up to Richard. I was so nervous. And I said, oh, hello, Richard. I've met you before with Jared, who I was at drama school with, who's an amazing actor. Best actor in our year by far. The best actor I've ever seen. Well, no, you are. I mean, but you I just babbled away, and it was slightly endearing. So he was chatting to me and telling me some hilarious and unrepeatable, extremely scandalous stories about his life in the 60s. And they went, we're ready for you. And so we step onto the set, and I don't want to spoil the magic, but, not only were we shooting the film in the wrong order, doing that scene first, we were actually shooting the last bit of that scene before we shot the beginning of the scene. So we're just going to shoot the bit where I'm standing there, it's a wide shot, and Dumbledore says to me, thank you, Lucius, that'll be all. And I leave. That's it. So we're chatting. We stand up there, and Daniel's there, all of 12, and Rich and I are there, and they're rolling on like 4 cameras, and they go, roll all the cameras. I'm a little bit sweaty. It's my first take on my first day. And they go, action, and it's Richard's line. He looks at me. And I look at him, and I think, oh, He's taking a pause, very, very dramatic. And he narrows his eyes, and I think, he's taken a really long pause. And then I realised he's forgotten his line. I've distracted him, or he's distracted himself by telling me all these stories about these starlets in the 60s, and he's only got the one line. He's in his 80s, he's not that well, and it's awkward for him, it's embarrassing. But I'm not going to say anything. It's my first day. I'm not going to say, Richard, it's your line next to you. You say, thank you, Lucius, I'll be all. So I wait, and no one else speaks. And he's still looking at me, narrowing his eyes. And I think, oh, this is sad, it's tragic. And then I feel this rising panic in my stomach, because I think, maybe it's my line. Maybe I'd actually got a line, and I didn't look at the script because I was distracted by Richard's stories. It's my first day, it's my first take, and I'm meant to speak, and I don't know what it is. And as the panic rises and the sweat gets to my eyeballs and my teeth, Richard looks at me and he goes, thank you, Lucius, that'll be all. And I thought, you bastard. That's why you're Richard Harris. So I remember that keenly. And then Chris goes, that was great. We had that. Jason, let's do one more. When you go out, you want to shut the door of the office? And I said, yeah, okay. Or could can I just wave my hand and it shuts by magic? And he looked over at the special effects guy. There's always a special effects guy with the clipboard. And the guy went, yeah, sure. And I thought, this is going to be awesome. So we do another take. I leave the room and I go, and I wave my arm and pachoo, door shuts by magic. Magic being a fishing line attached to the handle, but whatever. And then he goes, okay, I think we have the wide. And I went, I'm sorry, can we just do one more? He goes, sure. What do you want to do differently? I said, I forgot that Dobby's here somewhere, right? So where's Dobby? And he goes, well, he's wherever you want to look. Where do you want to put him? And I said, well, if I put him there, is that good? And the special effects guy goes, writes it down. And I go, what about if I put him there? And he goes, okay. I went, no, I think we'll stick with, let's go on the left-hand side. All right. So then action, and he goes, that'll be all. And I swim foot like that, and I step down, and I get out, and Chris Plums goes, cut, sorry, can we wipe the floor where Jason slipped? Can we make sure the floor is dry, please? I said, no, I didn't slip. He goes, what did you do with your leg there? I said, I kicked Dobby down the stairs. And he went, oh, looks at the special effects guy, and the guy's like, and he goes, what did you do when you got down the stairs? You did something with your staff, your cane there? And I said, yeah, when he got up, I bashed him on the head. And he went, okay, and the guy's like, and I was having such a good time. I was like a kid at his own birthday party who had too much cake. I said, I'm sorry, is there any chance we can do one more? And he goes, sure. What do you want to do something different? And I went up and I whispered to him, I said, I don't think Lucius would leave the room being stripped down in front of Harry Potter without saying something back to, restore his pride. He goes, okay, what do you want to say? I said, I don't know. He said, well, let's just do one, see what comes to you, just make it up. I said, should I tell Richard or Daniel? He goes, no, let's just try one. So we all roll all the cameras and all the stuff, and then they go, action, and Richard waits a preternaturally long time, and he goes, thank you, Lucius, that'll be all. And I turned to Daniel, 12, and I said, let us hope Mr. Potter will always be around to save the day. And Daniel stepped up, puffed his little chest out, and he went, don't worry, I will be. And I left, and I thought, Christ, he's good as well. They're all good. And I remember that feeling so vividly, thinking, I was thinking I could phone some of this in. I'm playing a wizard, but these people are really good, even the kids. So anyway, that was one of my favourite scenes. There were many, many favourite scenes that I loved, but I loved that one in particular. Let's hope Mr. Potter, I've heard the story 100 times. I said, no, I'm sorry. But it's true. I remember that day. Many other days I don't remember. I remember the beginning, I remember the end. Right at the end of Potter, we're there doing the big battle of Hogwarts. We're all there in the square. It was rained every day for weeks, and so we sat in a big tent. That's right, we sat in the tent. We sat in the tent and we drank tea from an urn. It was so solid you could stand your spoon up. And Julie Walters told stories about her pig farm, which, I would buy tickets to watch all year round. Prayed for more rain. But eventually we're standing outside in the courtyard, and there is Voldemort. And Voldemort, God bless him, Ralph Fiennes, a genius actor, but it's just weeks and weeks we're watching Ralph strut up and down and do his lines, and it's a big special effects film, it's very slow. I just thought, oh, God, don't know if I could take this. I've got 3 lines over the next 2 weeks. 3 lines. Oh, I just felt very sorry for myself. And I looked over, and there was Emma Thompson. And she's got an Oscar. There was Maggie Smith. She's got an Oscar. There was Julie Walters. She's got an Oscar. There was Jim Broadbent. He's got an Oscar. And I thought, they haven't got any lines. I've got 3 lines. So I just remember thinking right at the end, don't feel sorry for yourself for having nothing to do. These guys must be going mental. Now, we're up. So people thought I really let myself go to rack and ruin. But I always thought that Lucius went to Azkaban and had a very bad time at the hands of the Dementors. And so when he came back, I made sure I had red eyes and stubble and my hair was no longer beautifully coiffed. I think a lot of people thought that was me just kind of letting the side down.